gas tax holiday was a bad idea. It wasn't even a good idea. It wasn't even a practical deal or idea. It wasn't even based on reality whatsoever. The political vision of a summer gas tax holiday died a quick death in Congress, losing to a view that federal excise taxes on gasoline and diesel fuel will have to go up if they go anywhere at all. Despite all those calls from the presidential campaign trail for a Memorial Day to Labor Day tax freeze, lawmakers very quickly concluded, with a prod from the construction industry, that having at least $9 billion less to spend on highways could create a pre-election specter of even more thousands and thousands of lost jobs on top of thousands of lost jobs already. Anyway, now the lawmakers very quietly are talking about raising fuel taxes by a dime from the current 18.4 cents a gallon on gasoline and 24.3 cents on diesel fuel. You know, gas prices setting records are always tending to go higher, even though they might drop for a short time. No, it's not a good idea. For one, it's not even based in reality. Well, it's not going to happen anyway. If anything, nope, fuel taxes have to go up very soon, rapidly, because the more things go up, the more the price of oil goes up, the more everything else goes up. Yes, including the roads, the highways. Well, they're made of asphalt too, which is made of petroleum or oil. So the roads, a lot of the roads are made of oil also, and it takes diesel fuel or oil for all the big machinery to make the roads. It's a very vicious cycle, or more likened to a downward spiral, because the higher the price of oil goes, the worse the United States economy is going to be, or going to get. That's just the bottom line. That's the way it works. It is going to get worse. Well, I really don't want to have to say it, but it really is going to get worse. That's just the way it's going to be, because you get the price of oil or gasoline, whatever, too high. Well, anything past $1 a gallon for gasoline is just too high for this country, because this is what America's founded on, at least last 100 years or so. Cheap oil. Just like a bad addiction or any other thing. Of course, this would be the worst, wouldn't it? Anyway, the chairman of the House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee and the chairman of the Highway Subcommittee have presented fellow lawmakers a list of how many jobs and how much money each state is losing or would lose. It ranged from at least $30 million and 1,000 jobs in Vermont to $664 million minimum estimate, or conservative, and 23,000 jobs in California or more. Because the trust fund is already looking at a looming shortfall, it would have moved project cancellations into the construction season. No gas tax holiday. It's not even possible. He said it was highly unlikely that oil companies would have passed any savings along to consumers anyway. No, it would still be just as high, Close enough. Anyway, yep, add another dime onto the gasoline fuel tax. Or diesel fuel tax. Well, that will just keep the cycle going. Because it won't be ending up just a dime that it goes up. It'll be more like 15 or 20 cents. At the minimum, maybe more. It all feeds on itself. Because then they'll have to have more money for the roads. Because the price of gasoline or the oil went up again. The materials that they make the asphalt roads of. Well, and roads and highways, they have to be maintained. They have to be repaved. Oh, it's just none of it's not a good scenario. Anyway, just 3 years ago, that same trust fund that takes care of the roads enjoyed a surplus of $10 billion. But now, even without a tax freeze, the fund is projected to finish 2009 with a deficit of at least $3 billion. That could grow, very easily grow, as Americans drive less and buy less gas because of higher pump prices, which means they're going to need even more money for the roads. They'll have to up the tax even more. That's a very, very bad, vicious cycle. I'm sorry, but it is. The consequence is that only about $27 billion in federal money will be available next year to states and local governments for new infrastructure investment, even though the current Highway Act calls for spending at least $41 billion a year. And that won't even really keep up with the maintenance needs, hardly. No, those numbers, no. For many, the solution is to raise rather than suspend or cut federal fuel taxes. Yes, they're going to have to go up, which haven't changed since 1993. The Transportation Construction Coalition, a group of industry companies and unions, said that if Congress does not do something very soon about the shortfall, the states will lose about 1/3 of their road and bridge money in the budget year starting October 1st. That would put at least another 485,000 more jobs at risk, on top of all the other thousands of jobs being lost every single month. Something like 94,000 jobs a month since the first of the year already. No, people have got to have jobs. Well, you can figure out the rest there. It's a very vicious cycle, or downward spiral. Well, Congress really doesn't know what to do exactly. Senate Democrats in May tried to add $5 billion to an aviation overhaul bill to replenish the Highway Trust Fund next year, but the Republicans, like they always do, objected. They can't ever seem to get along there. Democrats tried again in June, but this time for $8 billion. Once again, Republicans objected to that too. We've put all things on the table, said one congressman from Minnesota, but the gas tax is the cornerstone. Yes, that's the chief cornerstone, the one that they rejected. It's not right. It's not good. Nothing else will work without the underpinning of the higher user fee gas tax. Fuel gas tax. It has to go up, which, will for sure in turn make sure that gasoline just keeps going up, no matter what. That's the whole scenario. Yes. As the price of gasoline goes, so goes the economy of America. Well, there's more to it than that, of course, like the war and stuff. Anyway, these are more end-time transition day signs. End-time signs. And there are many. There are a lot of them. Yes, there are many of them.